This is Eryri, where epic comes in many forms. 9 mountain ranges, coastline for miles, acres of dense forest. Millions are drawn to this part of North Wales every year. But this is a wild landscape.
Hello!
Where the best day of your life can quickly become the worst.
Police emergency, how can I help?
There's a little boy trapped in the mountain.
And when a call for help comes in, the busiest network of rescue agencies in the country must join forces.
How did you get here?
Professionals and volunteers, side by side.
Keep going.
Each team bringing vital skills and local knowledge.
Helicopter inbound.
Of how to save a life in a landscape like no other.
2 casualties from life-changing injuries.
Life is good when people help each other.
The internet and media has a part to play in drawing people out into the mountains now. It's made it much more accessible.
This, combined with Eryri's location, within 3 hours' drive of cities like Liverpool and Birmingham, means some visitors turn up unprepared for the remote terrain.
You see these amazing mountain peaks and the sun's shining and you think, oh, let's go out and explore. But it also draws people in with perhaps a small amount of knowledge of the weather and the location. For us in the Ogwen Valley, Trivan is definitely our honeypot mountain. Trivan is like a big sleeping dinosaur with the long spiny ridge and on all sides has sort of precipitous drops. You literally park your car and you're on the North Ridge in minutes, having your sort of scrambly adventure. And then you turn around to come back down again, and it looks totally different.
I just remember realizing the potential impact of where I am and what I had done. What if I don't manage to call help? Was this the moment in which it all ends?
It's a spring day, and 34-year-old Londoner David has made an impromptu 6-hour drive to Eryri, keen to make the most of a rare day off work.
I arrived and I was just like, this is great. There was a great big lake on one side, and then there was a mountain on the other. I remember just looking up and thinking, yeah, I'm guaranteed to get some good views and also a good challenge out of it.
Within 3 hours, David had successfully reached Trevan's summit without a plan or a map.
I was tired. What I saw, it was amazing. Breathtaking views.
But on the way back down, a wrong turn leaves him cut off from help.
It became very rough. I'm no longer confident that I know what I'm doing or where I'm going. I need to start asking for help. I brought my phone out, dialed 999. Didn't have any reception. 50 centimeters that way, I got a couple of bars. Oh my gosh, I've got reception. And I dialed 999, put it on speaker, and I thought, okay, someone's gonna answer, and it's all gonna be good. But the same thing happened. I tried texting 999. That didn't work.
With only just enough reception to send text messages, David tries to reach his wife. And even his brother in America.
Anxiety kicked in, which then limited my ability to make sound choices. And I started calling, literally shouting for help.
An agonising 45 minutes since David first started calling for help, his wife sees his messages and alerts the emergency services. Police task Ogwen Valley Mountain Rescue with the job. They make contact with David by text message and use GPS data from his phone to work out his rough location.
It's here. Okay, I know that gully actually. I came down there a little while ago with some clients.
Team member Mo knows the area well from her job as an outdoors instructor.
We should take confidence roping kit as a sort of faster party and go and find them.
She thinks David is in fairly safe terrain, but believes he's suffering with a form of anxiety known in the mountains as being cragfast.
Cragfast is when somebody perceives that they have come to a precipitous drop. They think they can't get down, and they also feel that they can't turn around and go back up.
Mo and teammate Simon start making their way up the mountain.
I started to really panic. I did feel that it was life or death.
Plan is to ascend the gully to the right of the goat and go and look where the Sarlocks put our chap up on the right-hand side of Wrinkle Tower.
This person was near quite a famous scramble called the Wrinkle Tower.
Should we give him another shout, Si? The thing is, he could be just here, or he could be a little bit over, eh?
Yeah, here you Si. I'm just popping up the other side of the ridge now.
Copy, I'm going from this side, from the gully side over.
I was very frustrated at the fact that I couldn't just tell them where I was and then they come and rescue me, but I can't even tell them the name of the mountain, so how could I expect them to easily navigate to me?
Then, David has an idea to get around the signal problems which are stopping him from speaking directly to Mountain Rescue.
Calls on my mobile might not work, we know that. So please try 0203 number if you need to call. What's 0203 number?
My last resort was to try using my work phone app, so I used Microsoft Teams.
And amazingly, it works.
Hello, David. Hello, it's Jed here. You've been texting me and what have you. Good idea to get you on Teams like this. Well done. We've got people just up near you, and we're just trying to get them actually onto you now because we've got their location and your location. Yeah, got you. Oh no, I totally appreciate it, mate. And the best thing that you do now is you've done absolutely everything right. Just stay still.
With the team at base now able to talk to David, today's rescue just got significantly easier.
The images come through now. Oh, lovely jubbly, yeah. Yeah, we can get to there, I think.
He even confirms his exact location using a photograph, allowing Simon and Mo to hone in on him.
Boogie 236, this is base over. You're north of him by about 100 metres or so, over.
Okay, understood.
You've still got a bit of height to climb. It looks like there's a big, massive bluff in front of you. That's between you and him, over.
Great, copy that, Jed. We'll keep ascending and shouting and take another look.
A rock step there, we could go up, or we could go quite a longer way round.
He's just the other side.
Yeah.
Should we go up the gap and just pass bags up?
Yeah.
It's only a bolt across there.
Yeah.
He shouted, "Help!"
Hello!
I got a response.
Hey, we'll be there in a bit!
And I just remember thinking, yes, finally.
Can you hear him?
I was so happy. I did feel like, okay, I'm actually okay now.
Anything,
No.
No. How did you get to here then? Come down.
Can't remember. I think I came from around there. I took a couple of risks. I thought 1 or 2 is fine, and if I make it out alive, then I'll tell no one.
Were you on the summit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was making my way down.
Are you doing all right otherwise? No sort of injuries or medicals or anything we need to know about?
Just a breathe and go.
That's all right. We've all had those from time to time.
On the one hand, I was excited. On the other hand, though, it was just a bit embarrassing.
The terrain he was in was really complex.
Boggy base, this is 236. We're with David now. It's not really rope terrain. It's just going to be a nice, pleasant, sunny walk out.
Roger that.
It wasn't particularly dangerous, but from his perspective, going in any one direction seemed a bit precipitous.
You got a map or anything, or you just got sat nav?
So I just
GPS
got
on your phone?
I just got GPS, and I sort of downloaded some offline maps.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really show you any tracks or anything like that. So.
No, sure. Let's go right a bit.
Sometimes the weather's good, sometimes people are actually in pretty good condition, they're just a bit lost. Sometimes people are in really bad shape if they've taken a fall, but it's just as important to help everybody get off the mountain.
Well done. It's the goats, isn't it? Do you know how often we get called out for a goat shouting help? But do you know what's even worse is we have to go and check just in case it isn't a goat.
If you don't have a very good plan going into the mountains, then you're just sort of firefighting everything that comes your way. So if you don't know how to read a map, if you haven't looked at the weather forecast and aren't carrying the right equipment, then it makes it really stressful.
Will you come out and do more stuff like this again, David?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I don't think this is going to be operating like that.
What would you do differently next time?
I think all feeds back to just doing a bit more research. I would have realised that this is not something you could just walk into.
There's something about knowing how to navigate, though. It might not be the fun bit that you enjoy, but it's the bit that gets you home.
These are people who lead normal lives day to day, who are willing to put their lives at risk to make sure that people are safe. I'm constantly grateful of the fact that there are people out there willing to do that.
But it isn't only in Eryri's mountains that getting help in an emergency can be harder than you'd think.
Challenge with Lake Vyrnwy is it's quite a busy spot for us. It's a long and difficult drive, and there's very little in the way of phone signal.
It's a winter's afternoon, and the 59-year-old, Peter, has slipped and badly injured his knee while walking with his wife. He's at Llyn y Vyrnwy, at the far edge of Aberdyfi Search and Rescue's patch, on an isolated path by Rhiwargor waterfall.
This particular casualty had taken a slip, damaged his leg, couldn't move, and couldn't raise the alarm. They were encountered by some other walkers, fortunately. One of the people drove down to the hotel a fair distance away, which was the only place they could get an outgoing phone call placed.
Aberdyfi Mountain Rescue are called out by the police. But it's already taken the casualty nearly 2 hours to raise the alarm, and the waterfall is more than an hour's drive from the team's base.
It's dark, and in a night when it was starting to freeze, he'd been sat around for quite a long time. They were midway down the waterfall. It's quite steep and uneven ground. With the timescales and the temperature, I think we were braced that it was going to be a stretcher carry or a helicopter.
More than 3 hours since his injury, the team reached Peter.
Really nicely, actually, the casualty wasn't on the steep ground on the waterfall, but was actually very agreeable terrain.
Put that in your mouth and suck on it. It should let gas out. Give it 3-4 big deep breaths. Right, let's support it under the knee. Lift from the knee.
He'd taken a slip, aggravated an existing injury in his knee, and just couldn't walk on it.
So this is a vacuum sprint, so it's flexible while we're messing around with it, and then we pump the air out.
We got extra clothing with us, and we started stabilising the situation and getting ready to get him moving.
Given Peter's stable condition, the team decide carrying him by stretcher is the best way to get him back to the car park.
Can you get your hand over to that? Rob, can you support him from behind just so that...
Getting the chap onto the stretcher was a challenge. Point where he'd fallen over was on a series of boulders.
I think I'd like him to bum shuffle backwards if he can. Good. Okay. Come on. There we go. We got something under the knees. Where's that roll to go under the knees? So it can get a bit claustrophobic, so bear with us on this, Peter. Okay, ready, brace, in.
The ground immediately adjacent to the waterfall is really
내가 고시시대로를 주가사기 오백대로 おにかがまみかたいなみものくいさしいかいからまいやくりなにさがかりたれうこいさめりかちかまかくすきなりにうもでるさゆかなんて僕らそれほどな街らおけま55キロ中に出すどこかかレトスながてしたから時々わ話あよかめこそなこりたわごみ出してるあいすかなしなてなもしきて生き出すこ最近なまごっとれた彼も知らないやみたかったかなゆのかかレッドスナガラストシワに
Steep.
It is really kept, you guys, so nice and steady. Make sure your feet are over. Okay. Ready, raised, big lift. And rest it once on there. Okay, let's get some bodies round.
We're always training in the dark. I mean, it does make things more difficult, but I think it's something that everybody's well versed in.
Back on level ground, the team use a wheel fitted onto the stretcher to speed things up.
Okay, from the front, leaders on.
Yeah, I did.
Peter was taken to hospital in Bangor and needed surgery to repair the tendons around his knee.
We are constantly dealing with the worst days of people's lives.
Take off the wheel here.
The sort of emotion of it comes after the fact.
Okay, so let's get him unpackaged as much as we can here.
I think we've never failed to be able to mount a rescue. It's great.
On sunny days, Eryri's beaches are a real magnet for tourists and locals alike. Keeping people safe here are the Coast Guard and RNLI, every one of them a volunteer.
We do lost and missing person searches. We also do water rescues. The Coast Guard will mainly look after people on the shore. It's the lifeboat that will go out to the sea and rescue the people and bring them back to us. In Barmouth, the tide is so dangerous. Within a few minutes, you can be dragged out a few hundred metres. I've seen this many, many times.
It's the end of the day on an August bank holiday Saturday.
It was really warm, there wasn't a cloud in the sky, the sea was calm, but even on the flattest calm of days, trouble is only around the corner.
A man called Brett, on holiday from Birmingham, is stuck in a dinghy off the Barmouth coast. The engine has failed. He has no oars and is now drifting out to sea.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Barmouth RNLI are called out, and the Coast Guard rescue team are also called to the beach, where members of the public first heard Brett's shouts for help.
It's immediate adrenaline. You want to get there as quickly and safely as you can.
We decided to go and fetch the dinghy in from off the beach. We was heading home the following day. Boys will be boys, and I decided to have a last-minute play. As I turned around to head back to the shore, the engine cut out, and as I went to start it up, the pull cord snapped on me. And I was like, I'm stuck.
You two okay in your own?
Yeah. We'll crack on.
Carried by the outgoing tide, the dinghy has already drifted around a kilometre offshore.
If we didn't act straight away, it would go to a very large-scale search very, very quickly.
And eyewitnesses on the beach say they've seen Brett in the water.
The waves was getting higher. It's shocking how fast it can actually change. I've got no phone, I've got no torch, no lights, no flares, no nothing. I tried to swim with boat in tow, and then a wave come underneath the boat and took me under. I just had to grab the boat then and get back in.
From the shore, the Coast Guard tried to guide the lifeboat crew towards Brett's boat, but it's proving difficult.
Because it's so dark, we can't see. We're looking for anything that could resemble the casualty.
In the sea, your body temperature drops really, really quickly.
It's an urgent incident. We don't know if he can swim, cold water shock. I really was feeling the pressure. And all of a sudden, from the shore, we see this green laser.
One of the crowd gathered on the beach has spotted Brett's boat and is shining a laser pen straight at it.
It was reflecting off the tender, so we were able just to hone in straight onto that.
How you doing, mate? You okay? Okay?
Yeah, boy.
Wicked, okay. I'm just keeping the way on.
To actually find him safe and well in his dinghy was a real relief for the crew.
Stick your anchor in your boat, mate.
He had been in the water, and to try and swim to shore from that far off, it's very deceiving in the dark, because you've got no points of reference. So it could have gone very wrong very quickly there.
Brett was picked up by the lifeboat 1 kilometre out to sea. All are agreed he's been extremely lucky.
He had no safety equipment on his own. The tide was going out, so everything was against this casualty. Another half an hour could have been anywhere in Cardigan Bay.
Right, you right to hold on tight?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to do the anchor. Yeah. Okay. In? Yeah. So if you hold us there, mate, I'll jump out and walk in, mate. Yeah, I've got you, mate. You're all right. Look, we'll try and keep you dry as well. That's good, isn't it? That's good service.
There's quite a few people there for just one man and his dinghy.
Well done, everybody!
When I seen them all, I was like, oh, I'm in for a right telling off now.
You're soaking wet, are you?
Bottom half wet, this was kind of dry.
Get this blanket around you.
Once they're ashore, then they're under our care, and you need to make sure that they're A-OK and safe.
Took my clothes off, got in the water and tried swimming. Tried to do the backstroke with the boat tied to me, but it worked for all of 5 minutes and then I got a bit too tired. So I just jumped back in the boat then. I thought I was going to end up sleeping on the water. And then I heard the boat and that was the sigh of relief then. I was happy that they got to me.
The way he swam back to shore was a little bit foolish, but I commend him so much for getting back into the boat. And that is what saved his life.
You can leave that there for tonight now, he's going to preach you, haven't they?
I think everyone thought it could have been worse. So for it to end successfully, we could all part happy. Being my first shouter's helm as well, it was, you know, there's quite a big buzz.
That last-minute decision to go out onto the boat at that time of night without anything, I won't be doing that again. Really grateful for them turning up. If it were for them, I'd have probably been in Ireland or somewhere across the Atlantic somewhere.